Welcome back to CBS Mornings here at 7:30. We're talking about a recent study raising concerns about the safety of popular gel manicures. Researchers at the University of California in San Diego found that the UV nail dryers used to harden gel nail polish, cure is the term for it, may increase the risk of skin cancer. Our consumer investigative correspondent Anna Werner is looking into this for us. Anna, good morning.
Good morning. You know, Tony, there are a lot of people who love their gel nails, but this study may get them thinking about changing their practices, like the woman we spoke to, a former Miss Illinois who competed in the Miss USA pageant.
Before Carolina Jasko won the Miss Illinois contest in 2018, getting gel manicures had been part of her beauty routine all through high school.
So I would get my nails done pretty frequently.
A gel manicure uses special compounds to create a harder, long-lasting nail cover. It requires the use of a dryer that uses ultraviolet light to harden or cure the gel nails.
Just having like that regular like nail polish isn't going to be enough. It might not last as long as you want. It might not look as nice as you want.
It was during one of her frequent manicures that the salon's technician noticed a dark line under her thumbnail.
And I remember my nail tech looking at me and he was like, "Oh, what happened?" It's like, "Oh, is it a bruise? Like, did you hit yourself or slam your hand?" And I was like, maybe, like I must have. You know, I didn't even think about it.
But a week later, she was in pain and her nail looked infected. And when she saw the doctor,
you have to have a biopsy right away because it doesn't look good.
Jasko says on her 18th birthday, she received her biopsy results. Melanoma, the most serious kind of skin cancer, which, if it spreads, can be deadly. A rare form known as acral melanoma.
I just remember like feeling like numb. Like I honestly didn't really feel anything.
Jasko underwent multiple surgeries. Doctors removed her thumbnail and grafted skin from her groin to replace the missing skin on her thumb. The cause? Impossible to say for sure. But Jasko says her doctors suspected genetics because her mother had had melanoma, but also her use of those UV nail dryers.
For me, it was very confusing at that time where I was like, oh my gosh, I've been so careful. You know, I've never been in a tanning bed. Like I always wear sunscreen. And I felt so young and it was confusing.
Her case made headlines and prompted researchers at the University of California, San Diego to study the potential hazards of those UV dryers. Researcher Maria Zavaghi.
That kind of was one of our motivation or inspiration because there was a potential link between these machines and cancer.
What they call a first-of-its-kind study found those UV dryers do, in fact, damage cells and cause mutations typically seen in skin cancer. In the laboratory cells they analyzed, after one 20-minute session of exposure to the UV dryers, it resulted in 20 to 30% of cells dying, while 3 consecutive 20-minute sessions of exposure resulted in 65 to 70% of cells dying.
When we see cell death, it means that there has been a huge amount of damage to the cell that led it to die.
The Food and Drug Administration told us it's reviewing the study's findings, but its current advice is that it views nail-curing lamps as low risk when used as directed. The Trade Association for the UV and Electron Beam Industry, RadTech, said last week that all scientific evidence demonstrates that UV nail lamps are safe when used according to well-established safe practices. But the results of the study made Zavaghi stop her own gel manicures.
I did not want to expose myself to more cancer risk factors.
Cleveland Clinic dermatologist Melissa Pilliong.
If you had your way, would you have patients not use these at all?
I think it's best to not use these at all because we know that they can cause cancer. What we don't know yet is how many times you have to use it, how frequently you have to use it to increase your risk. And some of that we won't know until people have been using these machines for 20 or 30 years, at which point it will be too late.
Jasko's cancer was fully removed, but she has since advocated for skin cancer awareness and knows she's lucky hers was caught early.
So it's like right now I don't have my thumbnail, but I could have lost my thumb. I could have lost my hand. It could have been so much worse.
One thing she didn't know, that she was the inspiration behind the study.
It does make me emotional because I can't believe that my story would like make that much of an impact on someone or be like that important. So it's really cool.
That really is making you emotional.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I didn't even expect that. Yeah. But yeah, it's really cool. It makes me feel like, wow, like this was important and this is important.
Well, Dr. Piliang says if you do want to get gel manicures, try to make them just for special occasions and not too often. She also says you can wear UV protective gloves and sunscreen. And signs to look for of skin cancer include discolored spots like black, blue, red, or brown, and also bruises under the nail. David?
Anna, thank you. When the researcher doing the study stops getting gel nails?
Yes.
That's pretty interesting.
Yep.
Anna Werner with the public service here.
And thank Carolina for sharing her story, because
Absolutely.
a lot of women get those gel manicures.
Yeah.